It's been 6 years now since the 2014 draft, and since then, we've seen Pro Bowlers, All-Pros, and Super Bowl champions come out of the first two rounds. One of the more recent players out of this draft that have gained notoriety is 49ers quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo. The turns that his career has taken so far have been quite interesting to say the least. Coming out of Eastern Illinois as a senior after breaking records previously held by Tony Romo, Jimmy G was considered one of the better quarterbacks to come out of the 2014 draft. He was taken in round 2 as the 62nd pick by the New England Patriots, where he would back up Tom Brady. During his first 2 seasons, he rarely ever saw the field, but did appear in a total of 11 games where his total stats were 20 of 30 for 188 yards and 1 touchdown, with an average completion percentage of 64.5. Fast forward to 2016, and here we have Deflategate. This caused Tom Brady to be suspended and miss the first 4 games to start the season. Jimmy Garoppolo was named the starter, and we got to see more of the quarterback that he really is. In the 2 games that he started before he got hurt and missed time, Jimmy G went 42 of 59 for 502 yards and 4 touchdowns. He went down and didn't really play much after that as Tom Brady returned. A year later, Garoppolo was traded to the San Francisco 49ers in exchange for a 2018 second-round pick. And now, this is where the fun begins. After being named starter in Week 13 of the 2017 season, Jimmy G took the 49ers to an undefeated 5-0 record to finish the season. Everyone in San Francisco had found hope in their newly acquired quarterback. Jimmy G was now 7-0 in his first starts as a quarterback. Because of this, just after the season ended, Garoppolo was given a 5-year, $137.5 million contract. It was the largest contract in NFL history at the time. I personally thought that he was overpaid at the time due to how few games he had only played. I wanted to see more of him before I could make a definite decision on him, but we were all robbed of this as his 2018 season was very brief due to a torn ACL. Now here we are right after the 2019 season, and he already has 2 Super Bowls with the Patriots, although he was a backup, and has led his own team to the Super Bowl in his first full year as a starter, throwing for over 3,900 yards, 27 touchdowns, with a completion percentage of 69% and a 102 passer rating. His career so far has been successful, but has he had more success than the 4 quarterbacks taken before him? Let's take a look. So the first quarterback taken ahead of him was Blake Bortles, round 1, pick 3. Coming out of UCF, Bortles had the highest passer rating out of any quarterback in UCF history with 153.9. With a 22-5 record, along with finishing 4th in school history in career completions, yards, and touchdowns, allowed him to forego his senior season to enter the draft. And after a 4-12 season, the Jacksonville Jaguars were badly in need of a quarterback. Blake Bortles' time in Jacksonville would best be summed up as a very up-and-down roller coaster ride. His second season is statistically his best, where he's threw for over 4,400 yards, 35 touchdowns, and 18 interceptions. The Jaguars' offense looked promising at the time, and many thought that they would be great, only to take a big step backwards the following season, failing to throw 25 touchdowns or 4,000 yards as the Jaguars went 3-13. And then, with the addition of Leonard Fournette, Bortles did just enough to lead Jacksonville to a 10-6 record and get all the way to the AFC Championship, where they would lose to the Patriots. The following year, the team took another big step backwards as the Jaguars went 5-11 and failed to reach the playoffs. Bortles was released after that season, and he signed with the Los Angeles Rams, where he is currently Jared Goff's backup. This next quarterback is going to make some of you all laugh. Johnny Manziel. the guy who Drake actually took the time to mention in a song. Coming into the draft, I'm pretty sure Johnny Manziel was the most hyped up player. He won a lot of awards coming out of Texas A&M, including a Heisman Trophy, Player of the Year, and was named an All-American and was a two-time All-SEC player. Let me remind you that he won the Heisman as a redshirt freshman. He finished his college career with just under 8,000 yards passing and 63 touchdowns passing. On the ground, he had over 2,000 yards and 30 touchdowns, and all of this was done in a 2-year span. And to put on top of this again, Drake mentioned this guy in a song. He was taken round 1 pick 22 to the team largely known for where careers go to die, the Cleveland Browns. In short, Johnny Manziel is one of the biggest draft busts in the last 10 years. He played 14 games in 2 years where he had a combined record of 2-12. He only threw 7 touchdowns and had 7 interceptions with an average rating of 74.4 and was released. After that, he joined the CFL a year later in 2017, but much didn't change for him as he was released last year and banned from the CFL in its entirety. Teddy Bridgewater was the last quarterback taken in the first round with the 32nd pick by the Minnesota Vikings. After a disappointing stint by Christian Ponder, the Vikings were looking to put their trust in someone new. In 3 years at Louisville, Bridgewater threw for nearly 10,000 yards, 72 touchdowns, and had a passer rating of almost 170 in his junior season. Like others, he chose to forego his senior season and enter the draft. There was actually one point in time where some people had thought that he'd be taken first overall in the draft. That proved to be wrong. In his rookie season, he came in as a backup behind Matt Castle, but was later named starter after Castle went down early in the season. Bridgewater played 13 games in his rookie season where he threw for 2,900 yards, 14 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. The Vikings as a team finished 7-9 and third in the NFC North. The following year in 2015, the Vikings offense relied heavily on Adrian Peterson to lead them to an 11-5 record and first in their division. Bridgewater eclipsed 3,000 yards but only threw 14 touchdowns over a full season. Somehow, some way, this was enough for a Pro Bowl selection. A torn ACL caused him to miss the entire 2016 season. This also caused him to miss most of the 2017 season, where the Vikings declined to pick up his 5th-year option. He signed with the New York Jets in the offseason before the 2018 season, but he was eventually traded to the Saints in exchange for a 3rd-round pick. This past season, while Drew Brees was hurt, Teddy Bridgewater got the starts. He went 5-0 in his short time as a starter. He threw for 1,200 yards and 9 touchdowns and showed people the potential that he still has as a quarterback if in the right system. And finally, the last quarterback taken before Jimmy G was Derek Carr. Of the 4 quarterbacks, Derek Carr's career has been without a doubt the most successful on paper. Taken at the top of the 2nd round at pick 36, Carr was a starter for the Raiders right out the gate. Although the Raiders went 3-13, Derek Carr still showed some promise. He threw for 3,200 yards and 21 touchdowns and was the first Raiders quarterback to start all 16 games since Rich Gannon in 2002. In his sophomore season, he made his first Pro Bowl throwing for just under 4,000 yards and 32 touchdowns. He would go on to make 3 straight Pro Bowls from 2015 to 2017. In 2016, Derek Carr helped lead the Oakland Raiders to their first playoff appearance since 2002, where they went to the Super Bowl. In these past 2 seasons, Derek Carr and the Raiders have not been able to rekindle that same flame, as their total record has been 11-21. There have even been talks of moving on from Derek Carr and trying to find a replacement. Some people even believe that the now Las Vegas Raiders actually have a chance of getting Tom Brady. How absurd that is to me. So there you have it. None of these quarterbacks' NFL paths have been straightforward. There have been some very high and some very low points for these guys. But only one of these quarterbacks have been able to lead their team to a Super Bowl, and that's Jimmy G. Thank you for watching the video. If you like the video, like and comment, and if you like me, subscribe.